Hey, what's up? It's Y, the team captain of the CMU Rodeo team and your host for this show.
And I'm Brandon Edwards, head coach for the rodeo team and your co-host. The Idaho State University Rodeo did not treat our team quite as well as the first rodeo, but still had some very awesome moments intertwined. Our men's team made a recovery from the first rodeo and seemed to do a little better.
In this show, we will recap all of the thrills, spills, and triumphs from each weekend's rodeo. We're bringing you the most exciting moments from the arena. From heart-pounding bull rides to stunning barrel runs, we'll relive the highs, the heartbreaks, and the jaw-dropping action that kept fans on the edge of their seat. Whether you missed the show or just want to experience it all over again, we've got you covered. Saddle up and let's dive into the wildest rides of the Bangle Stampede. This is Rodeo Recorded. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Wiley Mitchell.
And I'm Brandon Edwards. Let's take a deep dive into the Bangle Stampede.
Cy Lanier made his first short round debut in the tie-down roping. The freshman placed 7th in the longo. Lanier put 20 points on the board. Tie-down was pretty successful, but breakaway was not the Mavericks' best event. We had several girls thrown to catch to be fast, but the barrier added 10 seconds to their time. Some girls, like myself, caught a little too much calf and received a no time for a front leg. We didn't have any girls make the short go in the breakaway roping.
Steers in Pocatello may have been related to some Secretariat lineage, but there were a handful of teams that made the most out of their steers and stopped the clock rather quickly. Our Lady Mav team of Haley Stroud and Josie Fitzsimmons had a great weekend, placed 4th in the long round, 4th in the short round, and, unsurprisingly, 4th in the average as well, with an average time on 2 of 22.2. The Olsen brothers from Snow College took home the average win with a 14.2.
Goat tying was the event that we were looking forward to the most and let us down the hardest. All of our ladies struggled and nobody was able to maintain that momentum from the hot streak in Cedar City. No Mavs made the short round, but we have to pay our respects to Taylor Cornea of Utah Valley University for winning the average with a 16.2 on 2 head.
Caden Henderson covered his first horse, making him eligible for the average placing, but the Cowboy ended the weekend with 39 points. Brian Evans again repeated as the average champion for the second weekend in a row with an average score of 104 on 2. Saving the best event for last, talking barrel racing. Wiley Mitchell won the long round for the second rodeo in a row, and not far behind her was Kaylin Beauvais, who placed second. Now, Beauvais is a freshman from Alaska, and this barrel run was her first time making the short round. She unfortunately tipped the second barrel in the short go, but still ended the weekend with 50 points on the total. Mitchell placed second in the short go run and second in the average, and fell just .01, 1/100th of a second behind Jessica Poloni of Colorado Northwestern Community College. Poloni took the average win with a 35 and 24, while Wiley and Gus were only 35.25.
Now that we've looked at each event individually, let's take a look at this week's short go photo.
Now this week, nobody made it back in 2 separate events like last week. We had 1 saddle bronc rider, 1 tie-down roper, 1 team of team roping partners, and 2 barrel racers.
As a team, the Lady Mavericks ended up 3rd overall. They fell behind both Utah State and Utah Valley University, but were only 10 points behind Utah Valley. Now, we talked about all of the statistics and the nitty-gritty details, but before we leave, let's talk about some of our favorite moments from the weekend. I had 2. To start off, I was so impressed by Kaylin Beauvais. As we said earlier, she came all the way over to Alaska to rodeo on our team. She put her horses on a horse airplane and flew them here. They made the trip safe and sound, but then 3 days before Idaho State University Rodeo, her rope horse ended up passing away. Now, if that would have been me, if I would have lost a horse just days before a rodeo, I probably would have drawn out. But this girl showed up to the rodeo and ended up placing 2nd. Now, if that isn't the definition of a cowgirl, I don't know what is.
Yeah, being able to recover right that was pretty incredible. Love to see her have a really good stalwart motion as she was going forward. So that Palomino can sure run. She was just loping him to first, clocked so fast, and seemed to be able to really have a lot of potential going on too. So what was your other favorite moment?
Just like the last episode, I have to go with an almost catch. Tennille Motts has come so far ever since she entered her first rodeo in March of last year. She didn't quite get her caught in Idaho, but she came really close. And she was so excited to almost catch it, and we were all so proud of her for taking a good shot. I have a feeling that she's gonna get one caught soon. What were your favorite moments?
I got to go with a shout out to the host team, Jet Van Beesen of Idaho State, who's actually winning the all-around and the steer wrestling right now for the region. Actually got stuck in a really tough position. In the short round, he had a steer that we knew was going to set up, so he immediately had to break the plane of the box and declare. But when he went to pull up, he broke the reins on his headstall and ended up absolutely freewheeling around the arena with no control on the horse and had to basically take a kamikaze-like dive before winding up getting in the fence. And it was something everybody gave a little hoop and holler about.
Have you ever had your reins break during a competition?
One time, but not
Not to that extent.
Not to that extent. Definitely not in that much of an uncontrolled situation.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's Rodeo Roundup. We've seen incredible victories, heart-stopping misses, and the kind of grit that makes rodeo one of the most thrilling sports around. Thanks for joining us as we relived the highs and lows of the arena. And don't forget to tune in next episode for more rodeo recaps. I'm your host, Wiley Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Brandon Edwards.
And if you enjoyed watching this week, why stop now? We'll see you on the next episode of Rodeo Recorded.